Mm,
Hello.
my screen is visible to all of you? Yes. So let me show you something and then we will move forward. You people aware with the Bombay Stock Exchange? Do you know what is BSE? Bombay Stock Exchange? Yes, where people sell or buy shares. Okay, or in latest terminology, we can say they buy their securities. Okay, share now shares are represented as security. So BSE is a place where different company will or people will sell the shares. Okay, share market. Okay, in simple terms, it is share market. So BSE is a share market, and you people are aware that data science is a very you can say limelight topic nowadays. So yesterday, actually, while I was free, so I was working with some Python script where we can retrieve the data we can retrieve the data from the stock market. So let me show you that yesterday I have just tried to retrieve the data of 1,000 companies. So, for example, this is India Glycols, and this was the share price. It was updated on 3rd July, 4 p.m. And the day's high was 276 and low was 270.95. Likewise, so if you will try to get the data, then you will get, I think, approximately 20 to 25 parameters. So yesterday I was working on it, and then first I have gone with the iterative method. Then I have created threads. So here you can see I have created 20 thread, and each thread will bring data of 50 script. Okay, and then it will display. So I was just exploring it. Actually, I was working with the Panda. Okay, how to create the data set, how to create your own data set, how to do the formatting, and how to sorting the data, how data selection and all those things. So meanwhile, I found this, and then I thought that let me start working on it. So this is a good tool, uh, and if you want to think about work in data science, then this could be a good option. Now let's move towards our actual topic discussion. So if time permit, then we will discuss it someday. That how we can do it in data science, how we can use it in data science. So actually, we have discussed while for, then while else, for else means how to use else with the loop. Okay, and we have also discussed break. So today we will discuss pass and continue. So let me show you one example. Let's say for I in range 1 to 20. Okay, now I'm just creating this loop, but I don't want to do anything. Okay, sometimes in programming you may require to add delay or something else. Okay, where you will try to execute the loop. Okay, where you don't need anything. So you don't want to do anything, but simply execute the loop means you want to perform the iteration. So if you will try to execute this code, okay, then it will give you unexpected end of file. Okay, so in that case, what you can do, you can write pass. Okay, so pass means we are interpreter is not going to consider this statement. Okay, and it will over here. Okay, so let's say if you will execute, then you will get nothing in output. Similarly, let's say if we are having a variable, let's say a equals to 5, and if a is greater than 5, okay, then we don't want to do anything. Okay, so if we try to directly write the else, okay, then let's say print hello, and if you will try to execute it, then it will give you expected and indented block on line number 4. So line number 4 minus 1, line number 3. You have to always remember that whenever Python interpreter will give you error, you have to look at, or you have to observe at the previous line of that code. Okay, so if you are getting error on line number 4, then we should go to line number 3. Now in line number 3, it will not allow us to create empty if else. Okay, so in that case, if you don't want to write anything, then you can write pass. Okay, so in that case, it will not give you error. So pass is a keyword that will tell interpreter that you can continue. Okay, so no need to look for a code of block. Okay, so this is how you can use pass. You can use pass in if else loop as well. Now continue. So let me take another example for j equals to, for j in range, let's say 1 to 40, and I want to print all the even number. Okay, if j modulo 2 double equals to 0, and if j modulo 2, let's say we will try to print all the number which are even and divisible by, let's say, 5. Okay, so we will get some certain value. So let me keep, if j modulo 2 double equals to 0 and j modulo, sorry, j divide modulo 5 double equals to 0. Okay, then print j else. Print, let's say, j plus 1, just for simplicity, so you can have idea. Here we have to put it. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so in that case, what will happen? 10 will be displayed. Then again, it will go to the statement. So let me actually write the value of j into j comma and equals to. So for simplicity, I'm just trying to give you an example. So in case of 1, it will be incremented to 2. Case of 2, it will be incremented to 3. Similarly, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 9, it will be incremented by 1 for 10. Okay, so 10 is even number as well as it is divisible by 5. So if we will display 10 as it is. Okay, so here you can see for 10, we will get 10. Similarly, for 20, we will get 20. For 30, we will get 30. Okay, and 40, we will get 40. Now, here I don't want to get all other output. Okay, so in that case, what we can do, if it is in else part, then we will continue. Let's try to execute it. So what will work? What will happen here? Here, as you can see, we will get output for 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, now what is the meaning of continue? Whatever statement we will write, let's say print hello. Okay, so whatever statement we will write after continue, okay, all those statements won't be executed. Okay, so all the statement inside that block, let's say A is equals to 3, B is equals to 5, print A plus B. So here the size of this block is from line number 6 to line number 10. So whenever we will write continue, means here we have written continue line number 6. So whatever code we have written afterward the continue, okay, all those codes won't be executed. Okay, all those codes won't be executed. Okay, means execution from here. Okay, as soon as interpreter will find continue, it will directly go to line number 2. Okay, means not line number 2 exactly, but it will directly go to the next block. Okay, next statement. So after this else, what is the next statement? Print. Clear with this, everybody? Or doubt? Is there any doubt in continue? Once interpreter will find out that there is continue, so whatever statements are there in the block, okay, means line number 7 to 10, it won't be executed. It will go to the next statement, that is print. So then it will directly go to line number 11. Clear? Everybody is clear how continue can be helpful? All of you? Anyone else? Any other example? Anyone want any other example of continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, no problem. Let's take one more simple example, that is printing even number and odd number. Okay, for I in range 1 to 45, if I modulo 2 double equals to 0, then print even, else print odd. So if we execute this, then you can see odd even, odd even, odd even, odd even. Okay, so that pattern we will get. Now let's say that we want only even number. Okay, we don't want odd numbers. So in that case, what we will do? We don't want to execute this part. Okay, so here simple thing is that we can only keep the if. Okay, but if you want to keep else, means just want to show the demonstration, or just I just want to give you demonstration of continue. So here if I will write continue, okay, so in that case what will happen whenever we will find continue? Okay, so what it will do, is there any next statement after else? No, so it will directly go to the for loop. So if I will execute it, then I will get only even values. Okay, so wherever interpreter will face the continue statement, it will skip the entire block of code. Here we have written only one statement after continue, but here you can see here we have written how many statements? 4 statements. So if interpreter will encounter continue, then what will happen? It will skip the line number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Why? Because next line or next statement in the loop is on line number 11. So you can match the indentation. So then it will go to the outer statements. So here what will happen if you will remove the continue? If you will remove the continue, then it will print even odd, even odd. Okay, but what we want to do, if the number is odd, then we want to continue in the loop, means we don't want to print the odd. So in that case, we will use the continue. Okay, so in that case, what will happen? It will not print out. Now everybody is clear with the continue?
Sir,
Yes.
but if we use the continue statement after the print event, will it be the same output?
Where
After print event, we use continue.
then also we will get the same output.
Same output, okay.
Yes. Why? Because once the if condition is executed, okay, and then else won't be executed. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, let's say if it is entering into if statement, okay, then whatever we will write, it is never going to enter into the else part. Clear? Okay, very rarely you will require to use the, you can say this continue. Okay, most of time you will use break. So I think in last lab we have discussed break as well. Last lecture we have discussed break as well. Okay, while I have just tried to explain you the, you can say that while else and for else. So at that time we have discussed break as well. So you want me to revise that concept or we should move forward? You want a quick revision of break or you want to continue with the next topics? Okay, so let me do it, no problem. Let me take one variable I equals to 0. And here what I have written while equals to true, while true. Okay, means infinite. This will be an infinite loop. Yes, after that, let's print the value of I. And then we will increment I plus equals to 1. Now, let me do one thing. I want to execute I up to 100. Okay, so if I double equals to 100, in that case, what we will do? In that case, we will break the loop. Okay, so we will get output from 1 to 99. Now let me give you example of prime number, which we have given as an lab experiment to in all the batches. There is an important instruction for all of you. Today, I have invited lot of peoples for Google Classroom who have not joined the classroom. All of you are supposed to complete the Coursera assignment. There is one assignment, okay, where you are supposed to upload your Coursera enrollment screenshot. So all of you are supposed to complete that assignment by the end of the day. Okay, you also ask your friend to complete that assignment. Okay, come and in that assignment, Google Classroom, I have also given you the course link. Okay, so and I have also invited all of you in Coursera. Okay, so you are supposed to join using Coursera and you are supposed to complete that activity by the end of the day. Okay, so then tomorrow I will know that how many students have not completed those activity. All of us are supposed to complete that activity compulsory because your 20 mark internal component will be assessed from the Coursera certificate. So be clear with this. Okay, I'm telling you in advance so you don't face issues like that, sir. You should have told us in the starting of the semester or something like that. So you are supposed to complete that experiment by end of the day. Means enroll into the introduction to scripting in Python, and take a screenshot where your name is visible on top right corner, and then attach that screenshot as a submission to the course assignment. Okay, all of you, and all of you are having class code now. So join the Google Classroom, because in each lab I will give experiment, and then experiment will be created in classroom. So you are supposed to submit your experiment there. So be clear with this. Yes, let's continue with prime number. So what is the definition of prime number? Number which is divisible by 1 and itself only. Okay, so let's say I want to check whether 50 is prime number or not. Okay, so what I will do, for I in range. Okay, all number are divisible by 1. So I will start with 2 and I will go up to 50. Okay, means 49. 2 to 49. So I will do this and then I will check. If I modulo, 50 modulo I double equals to 0, then loop should be uh, break. Okay, so it should be terminated there. So what we will do, and we will put one flag variable. Let's say f equals to 0, and here we will write f equals to 1, and then we will write else. Okay, so there is no need of else, and then we can do one thing. If f double equals to 0, then print prime, else print not prime. Yes, this is the simplest logic. What we will do, we will start with the 2 and we will go up to 49, and if any of the number in between 2 to 49 can divide the number in such a way that the remainder will be 0, in that case we will break the loop, means that number is not prime, that is final. So let's say if we are checking for 50, okay, then that number will be divisible by 2 only itself. So what will happen if it is divisible by 2? Then there is no need to check for other number. Okay, so we will not go for 3 to 49. Okay, so if once the number is divisible by any other number, then we will break the loop. That means that number is not prime. So if we will execute it, then we will get not prime. Okay, now let me, instead of 50, let make it x. So x is equals to, let's say, 73. Okay, and here we will put x. Here also we will put x. So 73 is prime. Why? Because we have started from 2 and we have gone up to 72. Okay, so but all of the number cannot divide 73 in such a way that the remainder will be 0. So 73 is prime. Now let me take 81. Now 81 is not prime, so it will go with 2, not divisible by 2. Then it will go with 3. Yes, we can divide 81 by 3. So in such a way that remainder will be 0. So as soon as that number can be divided using this condition, we will immediately mark flag to 1 and we will break the loop. Okay, so from although we have specified the range from 2 to 81, okay, we have check up to only 3. Okay, so break will be helpful to us in saving the execution time as well as breaking the loop. Okay, so abnormally, if you want to terminate the, you can say loop, then you can go with the break statement. Now everybody is clear with this. All of you are clear with the break. Done. Now, anybody is having any doubt till now, whatever we have covered? Anybody is having any doubt till now, whatever we have covered? So we should be moving forward with the next topic. Should we move with the next topic? Okay. So if we look at the third unit, that is program flow control, okay, then it will be like, let's say in your syllabus, there is conditional block using if, else, and else if ladder that we have discussed, then simple for loop, then that simple for loop also we have discussed, okay, then for loop using range, that also we have discussed, while loop we have discussed. Okay, then loop manipulation using pass, continue, break, and else. Okay, so as portion we have discussed in last lecture. Now let's move forward. Our next topic is Python functions. Okay, so how to create the user-defined function. Okay, after that we are going to discuss list, tuple, dictionary, and string. So how to create the user-defined function. Okay, but I think let's go with the list and dictionary, so we can have all the data types, and then we will move forward with the user defined function. Okay, why? Because in function we will use list and dictionaries. So let's start. Now, what do you mean by list in Python? Yes, can anyone tell me what do you mean by list? List is a mutable data type. Good. That is the characteristics of list. Anything else? Anything else? Ordered sequence of element. Is it so? We can store only ordered element. We cannot store Yes, very good. It can take element of all types. Good.
Sir, I mean to say that it is order. Whatever we store in that, it is ordered.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So let's continue our discussion. Yes, how to declare the list. Okay, so if you want to declare empty list, then it will be like, let's say, like this. So whenever you will create list object, it will allow you to store multiple value. Okay, so let's say if you want to store value 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, then it will be like this. You have to make sure while you are storing value into the list, okay, those values will be or the list will be represented using square bracket. Okay, if you will make it round, then it will become the tuple. And another thing is that tuple is immutable object, means once tuple is created, okay, you cannot alter it, you cannot change it. Okay, while list is mutable, you can change the list. So if you will change any particular element in list, okay, it will not create a new list, okay, but the same list will be used. But if you are adding a new element into the list, at that time, new list will be created and new ID will be generated to, it will be assigned to all. Not all this, it will be assigned to new list, newly created list. Now, how to use the list? So, let's say we are having a list and we want to print all the elements of the list. So using for loop, we can do it like this. For variable v1 in x, x is the list. For variable v1 in x, print v1. Okay, so if you will do it, then you will get like this. If you will simply print list, print x comma type of x, okay, then it will be like this. So it will give you that type of this variable is list. Okay, and this is the list. And if you want to access individual element, then you can use for loop. For v1 in x, print v1. Now if you want to access the list, okay, if you want to find out the length of the list, then there is a length function. So y is equals to length of, let's say, x, and for I in range 0 to y, what we will do, we will print x using the y. Yes, we are getting error. Where is the error? List index out of range. Why we are getting that error? Can anyone tell me? Yes, can anyone tell me? You people have recently gone through the Python workshop. Yes, all of you.
सर
Huh?
सर वो y-1 नंबर तक ही एग्जिस्ट करेगा ना?
In range wise, you people know that range is non-inclusive. So whatever upper boundary we have specified, It is not going to be considered in any time.
Yes, sir.
Then why we are getting error that it will be out of range? Here it will be I. Okay,
So
so
that y will not be the subset of x.
no, here there will be I. If we have written y, okay, then what is the value of length? 9. How many elements are there? 3, 3, 6, 3, 9. If we start array with 0, then what is the position of last element? 8.
8.
Okay, and if we try to access the ninth element in the array, then how it will be possible? Okay,
Yes, sir, it
so
will come.
here instead of y, there will be I. Clear? Now we
मैंने
will.
वही तो बोला,
Ah, I
y
didn't.
माइनस वन तक ही एग्जिस्ट करता है तो एक नंबर कम करना पड़ेगा.
If we reduce one, let's say, let me keep it y here, then y minus 1, then what will happen? Then also we will get.
अब समझा ही नहीं मैंने क्या बोला, वही बोला सर, कुछ नहीं हो गया सर. आई.
I didn't get you what you wanted to tell me. So here there will be I. Why? Because here we are using I in range function. So here x of I. So if you want to access the element of list using index, okay, then you have to find out the length, and then using range you have to access the individual element. Are you clear with this? Now let's have some inbuilt method of list. Let's say x dot append. So here we will write, let's say 99, and then again we will print it. So what append element? What append will do? Append will simply append the element at the end of the list. Okay, so here you can see x dot append is equals to 99. Now another method is insert. Can anyone tell me what will be the argument? What will be the output of this? Okay, another method is x dot insert, then index, and then value. Here, what is the index? 1. Okay, so index 1 on this is 1, that is on index 0, then 2, which is on index 1. So on index 1, it will add 55, and all the element will be shifted right side. Which are the other methods? Append, clear, copy, count. Let's say count. Count will return us that how many time a particular element is there. Okay, so let's say if we are writing, let's say x dot insert 355, then 555, and if you want to count 55, okay, then you can see how many times we have added 55 3 times. So count will return us the count of a particular element, that is 1, 2, 3. Clear, all of you? Anybody is having any doubt till now, whatever we have discussed? Yes, after count, there is clear as well. So x dot clear and then print. So what clear will do? Clear will clear the list. Okay, so after executing the clear, if you see, the output will be empty, empty bracket, empty list. All of you clear? Okay. So then let's try to create another list. Y is equals to x dot copy. So copy function will be helpful to create the copy of a particular list. So y is equals to x dot copy. So this function will do nothing but simply copy the x into the y and it will create a new list. Okay, now if we try to print id of x comma id of y, and same thing. Okay, so whenever we will copy the list, okay, it will create a new list, okay, and then a new id will be assigned. So clear with the copy function? So how many functions of list we have discussed today? First of all, length, then how to access the element using index, list element using index. Okay, then next we have discussed append method, then insert method, then count method we have discussed, then we have discussed copy method, then clear method. Let try to discuss something else. Y is equals to y dot reverse. Okay, we are not getting any output. Can anyone tell me?
सर रिवर्स इक्वल टू ट्रू ऐसा कुछ लिखना पड़ता है ना?
Okay, no need to assign the value. Without assigning value, if you will execute it, then this is known as in place. So without using any additional memory, the list will be reversed and it will be stored into the same. So here you can see starting element was 1, ending element is 99. Here starting element is 99 and ending is 1. Okay, clear with this? Now pop, or let's directly write print. So use it many times, so let me bring it to the next cell so we can. So this is our original list, that is y. Then next is y dot pop. So whatever element we have added at last, okay, whatever element, last element is there inside the list, it will be removed. So the popped element is 1, and after popping the value from the list, you can see this is the new value. Yes, another function is remove 55, and then let's print y. So here you can see whenever we will execute this function y dot remove, so whatever first occurrence of that value will be there, that value will be removed. What we have removed 55. What is, where is the first occurrence of 55 after 4? So that only that 55 only will be removed. Okay, remaining 255 will be kept. It will be kept as it is. Clear with this, all of you? All of you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Bhavdeep, I think you are asking that value inside pop. So what you wanted to tell?